When the Skoda Kodiaq first arrived back in 2016, it completely smashed what we expected of this Czech brand. Here was a high-riding model which took advantage of the growing interest in larger SUVs, but delivered the kind of practicality and spaciousness that we had come to know from Skoda. So how do you go about replacing that? Well, it's with this. It's the brand new Kodiaq, which takes the same fundamentals as its predecessor, but adds in some clever new technology, some efficient engines, and just a whole dose more practicality than before. Today, we've got an initial look at this latest SUV, so we're going to be able to find out what it's like inside, what kind of boot it offers, and the general fits and features of this car. In terms of styling, the most noticeable changes take place at the front of the car. We've got these far sharper headlights than we had on the previous Kodiaq. And we've also got a light bar that's integrated into the front grille, a bit like the crystal face that you would have found on the Enyaq, of course, replaced here with a more conventional radiator setup, but it's still got that lighting. The whole car is slightly larger than the one that it replaces, but its size and shape has been hidden nicely thanks to these cuts along the side and the boxy wheel arch surrounds, which give it that kind of off-road ready flavour. Of course, it is still tied to the car that it replaces, but it's got that more modern feel which will ensure that it stands out when it is on the road. But some of the crucial changes to this new Kodiaq have happened inside. So let's dive in and see what this cabin has to offer. The original Kodiaq always had a good combination of technology and practicality focused features, and it's the same situation inside this latest one. For instance, we've got this very large central screen which houses all of your key functions, your navigation, your media and phone, and it's nice and easy to access, and it's responsive to your inputs too. But we've also got these smart dials. Now, of course, we've seen these on the latest Superb as well, and they are configurable dials which have a quick access point to those key functions that you might need when you're on the move, such as the driving modes or even just the ventilation. It's all within easy grasp, and they're nice chunky dials too, so you can operate them while you've got gloves on, for instance, in cold weather. Because the gear selector has been moved onto the column for the first time, we've freed up some space in the middle here too. So there are some rather small cup holders, but there are some good cubby sections for those loose items and 2 USB-C charging ports as well. Everything has that nice, solid and robust feel that we've come to expect from Skoda too. Plus, I still like the fact that you've got a split level glove box, which you can open there, and it's got loads of room there for gloves if you want it to be traditional, or all of those other extras that you use when you're on a long journey. Overall, I feel like the build quality has gone up a level in this new Kodiaq, but it's still backed by loads of space and practicality, which is ideal for a family car like this one. The interior of the previous generation Kodiaq really focused on space, and that has definitely been brought through to this latest generation car. Now, this seat is particularly far forward, but I've still got absolutely acres of space for my feet and for my knees, and the headroom is really impressive too. Overall build quality is good, and these seats, though leather and on this high-spec model, feel nice and robust, and they're flat too, so you feel like you've got a little bit of extra space just to branch out. Now, this car does have a relatively large transmission tunnel in the middle, but because you've got a lot of width to this vehicle, it doesn't feel quite as squidged in as you might expect. In terms of features and fittings, we've got some independent heating controls down in the middle, as well as 2 USB-C chargers and a main power outlet. So in terms of topping up your devices, there aren't going to be too many quarrels. These seats on this 5-seater version, now remember that the Kodiaq will be available in both 7 and 5-seater configurations, can slide forward and backwards. So you can tailor depending on whether you need extra legroom for the people in the back or if you need a little bit more boot space. And I think that's a very useful and versatile feature. And finally, one little function that I like is this extra pocket for your device, so that if you are sitting in the back here, you never have to lose it. There's going to be none of that worry about where is my phone gone, I don't know where it's slipped down. You can pop it there. You know that when you finish your journey, it's exactly where you left it. So at the rear of the Kodiaq, we've got a brand new light bar design, which is something we've come to get used to in quite a lot of modern cars, and that gives it a more distinctive appearance. But What about the boot space? Well, remarkably, Skoda has managed to squeeze an extra 75 litres of luggage room in this 5-seater version, bringing it to a total of 910 litres. Fold down the rear seats and that extends to 2,105 litres. So it's a really usable and versatile area. It's nice and low, there's no real lip here. And I like the fact that this has got hard wearing plastic at the front, although this metal section does seem a little bit protruding, so I'd be careful of that when you're putting those heavier items in. We've also got some nice deep recesses at either side for those looser items, and we've got some handy switches there to pull down, and then we can put the seats down really easily. Overall, even more versatile than the car it replaces. That's a really well-sized boot.
There's a similarly generous level of engine options available aboard the Kodiaq as there is in the Superb. The 1.5-litre mild hybrid petrol kicks off the range before leading to more conventional 2-litre turbocharged petrol and diesel units. A 201 brake horsepower petrol is the most potent engine in the lineup, and slightly more than the 190 brake horsepower range-topping diesel, but both get 4-wheel drive and an automatic DSG gearbox as standard. Like the Superb, there's also a plug-in hybrid option with a 1.5-litre petrol engine linking to an electric motor and batteries for a claimed electric-only range of up to 60 miles.
Now, it's hard not to come away from this first look at the Kodiaq without feeling quite impressed. It's got all the space and practicality you expect from a large SUV, but I think the combination of high technology and robust physical features make this car very competitive. Of course, the proof is in the driving, and hopefully next year we're going to be able to get behind the wheel of this new Kodiaq. But with this first glimpse at least, things are looking very, very positive. Now, thank you for watching this first look at the Skoda Kodiaq for Motors. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave us a like below and let us know in the comment section what you think of this latest generation Kodiaq. And since you're here, please remember to subscribe to the Motors YouTube channel. And if you hit that bell icon, you'll get a notification each time we upload a new video.